Hey everyone, it's Matthew here at Midland Pictures. Today we're going to talk about how you can transfer your footage from your storage media to 2 hard drives at the same time using an awesome app called Hedge. Check it out.
Save it for conversation.
So normally what I do with a video like this at the beginning is I talk about why we use a certain tool for the job that we're trying to do. Instead of doing that why speech up front, I'm actually going to do it after I show you how to transfer your media from your camera, all of your footage, to 2 drives at the same time. Now real quick, just to set the stage for who might be using a tool like this. This can be used for photography and video. That's primarily what I use it for. It certainly could be used for other kinds of media. If you're copying large amounts of data and you want to be able to copy it to 2 drives at the same time. We're going to focus on videographers and photographers primarily. And the situation that you're in is you are on set or you're on a shoot, maybe you're at a wedding, you're filming or photographing for your client, and you need to transfer the footage or photos from your card media to 2 hard drives at the same time, so you can either reuse those cards during the shoot or just make sure that the data that you've created, the footage, the media, the photos, is securely stored on 2 hard drives. So for me, this usually happens on set, not in my edit bay like I am right now. I'm usually working on a 2013 MacBook Pro and using 2 external hard drives to capture the card media. Today, for demonstration purposes, I'm gonna act as if I was on a shoot and immediately came back to the studio after that shoot and needed to capture the card from the shoot. In this instance, we shot on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema Camera 4K using these Samsung T5 SSD drives, so this is what I'm considering my card media. So what we need to do to get this going is connect this drive to my USB port and start setting up the transfer. Now, before we get into all that, I wanna remind you all that if you are not subscribed to the channel, I'd greatly appreciate it if you click the subscribe button down below. There's a lot of great content on the channel that I've already produced and a lot of great content coming. So click that subscribe button down below. And if you do, welcome to the channel. Now let's get back to the good stuff. So we've got my drive plugged in and I'm gonna pull up the app that I use to capture media. It's an app called Hedge. You can see that Hedge has a very simple interface. It's going to show the disks that are connected to my computer. This disk is labeled B008 because it's representing our B cam that we used on this shoot. Over on the right side here, we have 2 hard drives that are connected to my 2013 Mac Pro. The first one is my Pegasus R8 with 21 terabytes of storage, 24 total terabytes of storage, but because it's configured to RAID 5, it's only 21 terabytes. And then I have an exact duplicate of that drive, another Pegasus R8, with 24 terabytes of total storage, 21 terabytes at RAID 5, and you can see here it's labeled BU for backup. So this drive is the main online storage for all of the media for my projects, for my YouTube channel and my client work, and this is an exact duplicate of all of that media. So I've just come back from the shoot, I'm sitting down with my drive connected, and I need to copy the media from this drive to both of these drives at the same time. So this is ridiculously simple. All you're gonna do is drag the drive or card from your camera over to sources. This is your source drive. And then the destination drives are over here. The first thing you need to do is specify where these files are going to go. So I'm going to go to project folder and then browse and then navigate to the location where I want this footage to go. And you can see it's already on Pegasus R8, 21 terabytes, and it's on day 4, which was the day that we had set up for filming. It's under the B cam. And you can see already I've got B006, B007, and I want to add B008. So I'm going to hit select, and that drive is all set up. And then I'm going to click on the backup drive to tell Hedge where to store the media on the second drive. So you can see that it already selected the Pegasus R8 21 terabytes backup drive. I'm in day 4 on the project that we're filming. I'm under the B cam that we shot on, and you can see B06 and B007. So we're going to hit select. Then we're going to add 2 transfers, and off it goes. Right now this program is copying all of the media from B008 to both of those drives at the same time. You can see here that we've got about 130 gigs of footage on this drive, and it's going to take 6 to 8 minutes or so to copy that media to both drives. So I'm not sitting here using Finder to copy the media to one drive, letting it all transfer, and then doing it again to the backup drive. All right, so we're about to finish up the transfer. 3, 2, 1. and we've got check marks and green things and everything looks good. So that's completed. We've got a little magnifying glass here if you want to immediately go to that footage to check it out. We'll go ahead and do that. Pull up our Finder window here, and you can see B008 on the main hard drive. All of that stuff is transferred. We've got a Hedge Media hash list in there as well as some transfer logs. So these transfer logs and the hash list, the transfer logs specifically, think of that as sort of a receipt for the transfer. This is something that helps you with accountability and goes a long way when you're on more professional workflows, especially high budget stuff, to show that you did transfer the data, it did transfer all correctly, everything was fine. So one thing in the preferences that I do right off the bat when I have this app is I go to the disks page and I choose my Macintosh hard drive as an ignored disk. I'm never going to copy the media to the internal hard drive on my computer, and I don't want that to populate here in this screen when we're talking about the disks that are available to transfer media. I want to just zero in on the two destination drives and the source drive that I connect to my computer. So another thing that I do in preferences under general is I like to have this checked off, eject sources after successful transfer. That's just a nice way of getting that drive sort of off the computer and away from any further tinkering or messing around, misunderstanding what was transferred or what was not. So I like to have that automatically eject the drive after a successful transfer. Something else I like to do in the transfer tab is if I'm on set in a more professional setting where we are copying cards from the camera, but then we're going to have to format those cards in camera and use them over again because we don't have enough card media for the entire shoot. I like turning checkpoint on to make sure that if there are any issues with those source cards, any little things that are going wrong or whatever, that this will alert me to anything that's going on with that card media. So that's an important feature that I really like. Something else that's really cool that this app does, especially if you're someone that's on set who's dedicated to transferring the data, you can use the Hedge Connect app on your iPhone or Android device and connect it between your computer's Hedge app and the phone's Hedge app to get notifications when large data transfers are done. So it's a cool feature for this app that allows you to have those kinds of notifications so you're not sort of just hovering over the computer waiting for it to happen. Especially if you've got a couple other things you're doing. Maybe you're making proxy media or whatever. You can get that notification when the transfer is done. So the process of actually transferring data from card media or a hard drive from a camera to two destination drives is incredibly easy. The bigger conversation, though, is not how to do it, it's why you would do it. Now, when I'm doing a professional shoot, whether it's a passion project for Midland Pictures, like a documentary that we're working on, or it's something that's for hire for a client, this is when I use Hedge. I use Hedge on the passion projects for Midland Pictures because I want to be using the tools that professionals use in professional workflows. Now, there are three categories I look at when considering why you should use Hedge in your workflow. Those three categories are efficiency, reliability, and liability. So for efficiency, Hedge has a simple interface. It's easy to use. It copies to two destinations or more at the same time at the same speed of copying to a single destination. And it maximizes the bandwidth and transfer speeds based on the devices that you're using for your storage. Really, the efficiency comes with the fact that you can take one camera card and copy it to two destinations in the same amount of time it would take you to copy that card to one destination. That alone is a huge increase in efficiency when it comes to copying data either on set or when you return to your studio after a shoot day. With reliability, you have an app that is engineered specifically for transferring data. It always supports the latest OS, whether it's Windows or Mac, and it can handle transfers using NAS, SAN, RAID, or simple USB, Thunderbolt, SSDs, or HDDs. And then with liability, again, if you're being hired as a production company to work on a commercial, an independent film, a short film, and there's a lot of money involved, the schedule of talents, there's no way to reshoot this if something were to go wrong. You would be sued or held liable if the data transfers created corrupted files and the shoot day was lost. These are things that actually happen, and you need to protect yourself against exposure to these kinds of liabilities. If you're going to get involved with wedding filmmaking, wedding photography, commercial filmmaking, you know that these types of budgets, the schedules and deadlines to get this work done, the fact that a wedding cannot be reshot, it's one day and one day only. When those stakes are involved in what you're doing, what they are trusting and relying on you to do for them as the person who's being paid to provide this service, you have to use tools like this to cover yourself. And Hedge is a great tool for covering you with liability. It creates transfer logs. You can get checksums using the Checkpoint app to make sure that all of the data, every last 1 and 0 of that data, is transferred correctly. And you can also get source or destination verification. If you're using Finder to copy data on a big high stakes shoot, you don't have the ability to get any kind of verification that that data was transferred correctly, and that could make you exposed and liable for being at fault. Now, I don't say all this to like scare all of you guys, but it is meant to really show the realities of what we're dealing with and the stakes of this industry. And then what about pricing? They've got 3 options here for the most professional users and then the simplest users. You can get a single license for 1 computer for $129. I use a company license because not only do I have my Mac Pro, but I also have my laptop. So when I take it on set, I have a copy of Hedge on there. It's $229 for that. There's upgrades available for $69 per seat. 30-day project licenses for $49. There is a student and teacher discount if you want to apply for that. So I think this is a really worthwhile tool. For $229, you've got a great app on 2 computers that can handle a really efficient way of copying camera media to 2 drives at the same time. I especially recommend this app for freelancers that are interested into getting into DIT and data wrangling work on local productions, maybe something from LA, New York, Toronto, Chicago, whatever comes to your smaller market and you want to be able to be hired to handle data transfers from high-end camera systems. This is an app that might help you up your skills to be able to get those kinds of jobs when they come to town. Also great for anybody involved in weddings, if you're a wedding photographer or a videographer, to make sure that all of the cards that you have get transferred to 2 locations and you are data secure after that wedding. I know that's a lot of information. Thanks everyone for watching. If you like this video, click the like button down below. It's the best way you can support the channel. If you're not a subscriber, again, friendly reminder, click the subscribe button and the bell to get notifications every time we upload a new video. That's going to take care of it for this one, everyone. Until the next one, I will see you all soon.
Hey.